We have to all do the same thing, at the exact same time, exact same movement, exact same beat.
Stepping is just pretty much making sound with your body.
We use our bodies for rhythm, for celebration, for sending messages.
It's kind of like just being an entertainer.
It's really for personality's sake on what you do. Like, it gives you, you can add your own flair to it.
It can be more elaborate or kind of just simple, basic, and you can kind of put your own spin on it. Kind of like it tells a story as you're stepping.
You can put your whole body into it. Whatever song is playing, you can feel it.
I play the drums, so stepping was basically just like using my body to play a drum.
Some of my experience, I guess I would consider myself more of a stepper than a stroller. And so my experience was on our step team, we had to audition essentially, right? To be on the step team. And so you practice, you got on the step team, you learned your routine. It was many, many hours of working together to make sure you get the routine together. We had to understand the history of stepping in terms of why do we do this? We want to make sure that we are in unison, and here's why. We want to make sure we are presenting ourselves as one and together, and there's reasons for that, right? And so that was kind of I was more of a stepper. There were others who were strollers. Strolling is not necessarily a little more impromptu. It is something that you also practice. Kind of stroll and do a quick, I guess what I would call it. We kind of similar to like a quick line dance, right? In a line. But stepping usually takes a lot more practice. It's usually a show or theme behind stepping or a step show. But stepping also has a history, right? When we think about African ancestry, right? And the dances that come along and some of the music and African-American culture. And then some of that was adopted into some of what you see in Greek stepping and strolling.
Well, in my fraternity, we don't call it stepping or strolling. We call it hopping, because essentially, like, it's going to be different for everybody, but like in better sense of terms, we have a lot more bodily movement than what typically stepping and strolling houses. But yeah, my experience so far, it's been a really good experience. I've only been in for a couple months now, so I'm pretty new to everything still. But it's been a very, very, strong learning experience, and also a bonding experience with my brothers that are on the yard currently. So.
I'm not a strong stepper by any means, but I was more of like the actor, the talker of the shows, because in step shows, it's a full production. It's not just, the stepping piece. You have the stepping, but you have, the strolling, and then you also have kind of the acting side of things and the speaking side of things. And so I helped out with kind of the acting and the speaking and kind of the other parts of the step show. And then with strolling, there's, a few basic strolls that everyone knows. And so I learned those when I crossed many years ago. However, I've been in the fraternity at 15 years now, and the steps and the strolls all transition over time. And so now when the guys are stepping on campus, I am a cheerleader from the sideline because their strolls and steps are, they're a lot more hopping wise, a lot more activity than I care to do at this age of mine. But definitely I went to a wedding recently, and there were some strolls that we did of my generation here on campus, and I was happy to get out there and enjoy stroll supporting one of my line brothers' wedding.
So my first experience with stepping, I was actually on a step team back at home. I'm from Missouri. So we actually used to do like little things and stuff like that at church and at school and stuff like that. So I had some type of, familiarity with stepping. I also went to step shows all the time with my mom and stuff like that. And it was also really great. Now, doing stepping full out and fully myself was when I actually joined the organization and, we got to learn. They said that they were wondering who was going to pick up the step first between me and my other line brothers. So we had, they taught us to step and I was the first person to catch it. So, it was really simple. It was really cool. Like, I like it. I love strolling, but I think I'm more of a stepper than a stroller. I get them both and and I always give everything 110% no matter what it is. But I think with stepping, I just like the concrete, steps to it because you have to all do the same thing, at the exact same time, and exact same movement, exact same beat. With strolling, you get kind of more relaxed with it. You can kind of throw your own jizz, your own riz, your own little spin to it. But with stepping, that's it, and I like it because it creates this, when done correctly, it creates this massive sound, and it's just the whole thought process of using your body as a drum and your body as an entire instrument. People can do back bends, they do flips and still be on beat, and it's just amazing.
I know all of us stroll all the time. Stepping, not so much. It really has kind of died down just a little bit. I know back in the day, it was more relevant. Like, people would step all the time for not only homecoming step shows, but for yard shows or something of that such. We did participate in the step show with our brothers last semester, but pretty much we stroll a lot often, at parties, events, at schools. It's just a way to show unity among our organizations.
I was about 8 years old at the time. My grandma took me to church, and it was Black History Month, and she was participating in the step show, and I didn't know what she was doing. I thought she was just jumping around, just clapping and dancing and stuff like that. I didn't understand what it meant. So after she got done with the performance, she kind of explained to me, this is what our culture and heritage is. So I kind of got more interested in that after she showed me.
Well, I like steps that are very intensified and have bursts of energy. I also like steps that start off slow and then, you do a recount and then you come in really fast.
Well, of course, my favorite would be the shimmy because that's what we're known for. It's basically just, going down or standing up and just moving your shoulders, kind of. Yeah, that's pretty much.
I can't say how they describe it. It would be the Sigma walk. It's kind of I don't know how to describe it. It's they call it the crazy legs, honestly. So it's we jump into the motion of moving legs back and forth, and it's really weird, but I enjoy doing it.
So what made me join? I sat down and I watched everything. At a probate once, actually. I went to the probate it was spring of 2018. It was the first probate I went to at a previous campus that I attended, and I saw how everyone interacted, and then I went and spoke to my mother, who is also a part of the D9 organizations, and she said, you can do whatever you would like. Just, make sure it's within your heart. So I did my research and I watched how they interacted on campus when I finally transferred here. And I liked how they really made me feel. I really like the inclusivity of it all. I feel I can be myself. I feel like I can truly bring something to the table as well as get something out of it. And I really love the brotherhood aspect of it. Being an only child, that's just, you kind of grow up alone, stuff like that. So the lonely moments are few and far in between now. I love it. There's not a moment where I'm not checking up on someone or someone's checking up on me. And this is just not only is it people from this area, but people from all over as well.
I grew up in a town that had some MPHC organizations. And so a lot of the people that I knew growing up were a part of this particular organization. And upon coming to college, right, it's something that when you go to these different events, people tell you, just kind of do your research, right? And so that was something that I began to do on my own to form my own why, right? Because you should always know, why do you want to join an organization? Do you want to do it because someone else is a part of it? Or what is your why? And so upon looking at all of the different organizations, this is the one, right, that fits me. This is the one that when you think about perpetuity. When you think about, this was the first Black Greek letter organization founded for Black college women. When you think about the ways in which these particular women were addressing issues at that time, you think about 1908, right, and what was going on. They're addressing these issues, but also the perpetuity, the things they did to make sure this organization was incorporated and sustained throughout the years. Those were all things that I was like, hey, I want to be a part of a group, a part of women that say, hey, no matter what happens, no matter what is thrown at us, we're going to make sure that we transcend throughout time and build a legacy throughout the years.
So when I first got to campus, one of like my mentors that I was around, he was in the fraternity, and I kind of just seen him like as a big brother, and he kind of just played like, you know, I don't know, he gave me a lot of guidance in college when I didn't know what to do. And plus I'm like a member in the marching band, and he was in the marching band, so I was pretty much around him all the time. So I guess he just influenced me a lot.
The stronger sense of community and, you know, a love from one brother to another. So that's why I kind of floated towards Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated more so than anything.
I came from a really small town, so I really didn't know about Greek life or just like Greek letters in general, because my hometown was kind of really small. I had 30 people in my graduating class. So when I first arrived at A-States in fall of 21, I kind of like seeing all the organizations around campus, like the anime club and everything like that. So I kind of wanted to like find myself a place for myself where like I feel like I'm at home. And I first discovered Phi Beta Sigma due to my advisor. He has been in for 20 years, and he kind of like taught me how to be a man in a sense, and kind of showed me like a role model and a figure of like how to hold yourself up in college and just like throughout life in general.
I was initiated into the sorority in spring of 2022, and pretty much my mother is also a part of the sorority, so like I'm a legacy. And so pretty much all I kind of knew growing up was blue and white, and there was really like no other option for me at all, especially once I got to learn more about the women that's in the sorority. You know, there are a bunch of strong, driven women, very into, you know, Christ and the Lord, and because we are Christian-based organizations, and they do serve a lot in their community. And my mother, she brought me up along with her, just serving the community as well.
I have an uncle that is deceased now, and that's in the Omega chapter for Alpha Phi Alpha now. He was a charter member of a Alpha Phi Alpha chapter at University of Arkansas at Monticello, and so I grew up knowing that he was a member of the fraternity and started a chapter there in Monticello, and so always knew that part. And then when I came to college, there were some guys that I knew growing up as kids that went to school here, and they were upperclassmen, and they were part of the same fraternity. And so I knew that that was what I wanted to do. And when I got here, I waited into my sophomore year, and that's when I joined Alpha Phi Alpha in 2008. In the fall of 2008 here at Arkansas State University.
Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated was founded in 1908, specifically January 15th, 1908 at Howard University. And so on the local campus here at Arkansas State, the Eta Upsilon chapter was chartered October 13th, 1973. I am also a part of what we call a graduate chapter. And so I currently serve as the president of our graduate chapter in Jonesboro, Kappa Nu Omega. And that chapter was chartered June 29th, 1975.
So Alpha Phi Alpha was created at Cornell University in 1906. That's where we were chartered at in Ithaca, New York. And then we were chartered here at Arkansas State University May 19th, 1973. And that was, we had one of the first original African Americans, Dr. Herman Strickland, was a faculty member here on campus, and A-State at the time wanted to bring NPHC Greeks to campus, and so Alpha Phi Alpha was one of those initial Greeks that they wanted to bring in 1973, and they were able to select Dr. Strickland as a advisor for the first charter line, and they're called the Tenacious 10, the charter line was.
The fraternity as a whole, we were founded January 5th, 1911 on the campus of Indiana University by 10 great founders. On this campus, we were brought to A-State December 11, 1975.
Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated was founded November 17, 1911 on the campus of Howard University by 3 undergraduate students and 1 faculty who was the advisor for the Alpha chapter here at A-State. We were chartered on April 14, 1973. And we called that line the Genesis line. And it was the first Black Greek-led organization here on this campus. So there's a lot of history with Legacy.
My fraternity was founded January 9th, 1914 on the campus of Howard University. It was 3 young men who see the need for change, honestly and truly. They wanted to have an environment that was more for an inclusive we rather than exclusively. So therefore they banded together and formed the wondrous band we know today.
So Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated was founded on January 16, 1920 on the campus of Howard University. Our principles are scholarship, service, sisterhood, and finding womanhood. Our motto is that we are a community conscious, action-oriented organization. Our colors are royal blue and white, and we are the only sorority to be constitutionally bound to fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated.
It's a big commitment to be a part of Alpha Phi Alpha. And it's not just, okay, I'll join and then I just sit around and not do anything. So I'm there to, one, help the current guys as a mentor, as a role model, as an advisor, as a big brother, and as an alumni member that, you know, I've seen it all in 15 years. And so just helping them through, you know, their college journey while they're here at Arkansas State University. I support that, and then helping them, you know, recruit and meet new members and then welcome each new class into the fraternity. So there's paperwork that's involved, there's financial commitments that's involved throughout the year, and it's a big commitment.
So our graduate chapters are full of women who have either come into the organization as an undergraduate member, or they may have come in directly through what we call a graduate chapter. So these are professional women who have a graduate degree, or at least a bachelor's degree. And they've come into the organization based on merit, such as they've done phenomenal things in the community, they're community service minded. These are women who are from all different types of disciplines and backgrounds, from doctors to lawyers to teachers, right? People in education. We have people all across the globe who are in some of our graduate chapters. But yes, our graduate chapters are basically professional women who graduated from college who continue to do service in their local communities. And so that's one of the things I love about NPHC organizations is lifetime. Once you have joined, you may join in undergrad, but you can continue on and continue to impact your community even after you're outside of college. It's awesome.
I think it's a great thing knowing that you're helping the next generation become great and knowing that you are deeming them and setting them up to be successful. You know, we're helping pack you a bag and putting things in this bag called life. And now once the bag is packed, you know, it's up to you to go utilize those tools, but your tools are there. And you may pull out a tool that you learned 7 years ago, but it's critical now.
I know for me, it's a lifetime commitment for me. I always want to do the service to my community. And I always want to like kind of teach someone else like new information that they might have known prior to. Even if I'm like 70, 80 years old, I still want to be more involved with my community because that's the main reason I joined what I did. I always want to help someone younger or just in need in general and kind of educate them and get them more information to like give them more opportunity to be a better version of themselves at the end of the day.
Community engagement is a very big thing. I do believe that service is the keystone to all activity. So in order for you to do anything, you have to provide some type of service. Anything you do is a service.
So we have a bunch of different organizations that we partner with. We partner with March of Dimes, and you know that's for prematurity awareness for babies. We partner with the Red Cross. Like we go and we help all the time. We have Z-Hope. So Zeta's helping other people excel. Actually, my chapter, we brought home first place in our chapter size division because like you have to report Z-Hope points. And so that's any service event or initiative that you participate in. For instance, like going to the schools or whenever we did the book drive or just anything in general, like from the food pantry, you just report the points and you can see her points. Like, we also partnership with veterans awareness, domestic violence, almost anything that you can think of to give back to the community, to get people involved.
Helping students get registered to vote was a voter registration drive that we did a few weeks ago in the community at one of the churches. And then after that, we've had some of our members work at the polls to kind of help with assisting people to vote on the day of the elections, and just kind of making sure those things go smooth and in line. Other than that, we have Go to High School, Go to College, which is another one of our national programs where we go out to junior high schools, or we bring those junior high school students to campus and just show them what college life is like, so that not only once they finish up at junior high, they go to high school, make good grades in high school, and then they move on to the college level and obtain their college degrees. And so those are, I would say, two of the main programs that we have been doing recently here in the Jonesboro area.
We have, I'll just name a couple, donated to our local women's shelter. We have partnered with a number of different organizations to spotlight some people doing some really great things. We've done business expos, specifically Black business expos, highlighting Black business owners. We do things to highlight women business owners, and it's an initiative called Build Our Economic Wealth. And so workshops and helping people think about your money and how to save it and how to build a legacy.
My biggest thing that we do is, especially here on campus, we try to reach out to the community here on campus and try to get everybody together, especially not going forward, because our chapter's kind of small right now, but with us potentially growing, we're aiming to reach out more and be more involved in all that stuff.
We adopt kids and we kind of like go into school, different school systems, kind of mentor them. If it means like helping them with school, getting them internships, getting them jobs, like I give them food, clothing, anything like that. And now for Christmas, we usually do adopt a kid. So we kind of go shopping with them and take them out shopping to kind of like give them a Christmas gift if they didn't get their own.
Some recent projects that we've been working on, we visit schools a lot, just like the local elementary and middle schools here. We did that a lot last semester. We did it some this semester, just going out reading to them. Also bringing them like sweets and like prizes for their good behavior cart every Friday and things like that. Honestly, I feel like it gives us a lot of exposure, and the kids can kind of see us as a role model. And they might want to, end up joining our fraternity once they get to college, or just, find us intriguing.
What's good, everybody? I would like to welcome y'all to the stroll off this year's theme, Back to the Basics.
What's up, everybody? My name is Hayden Flanagan. I'm a part of the Theta Upsilon chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. And I would like to say go Red Wolves. And good luck to every D9 organization that's participated in the stroll off today.
We're so excited to be here. Our first top 10 stroll. I think we're but we're excited our first top 10.
A-State Connection stroll off is something that we do every year traditionally. It's like a midday entertainment piece to A-State Connection, which happens every year for minority students in rural areas of Arkansas. So it's always great just to see NPAC, just to see the work that they put in, the categories that they thrive in, and just also just seeing the smiles on the high school students' faces. Also, what I love about it is it gets bigger and bigger every year.
Are y'all ready to hear who won?
Third place goes to the Iota!
At the moment, yeah, I feel good for it to be our first one. I feel like we did good. We placed, and so I don't know.
We always gonna be getting better, so the next one to come around, we're gonna be in first place.
Second place goes to Kappa Alpha Psi. 2024 A-State Connection Stroll Off goes to...
Back-to-back champion, Sigma Gamma!
In all honesty, today was amazing. I'm a senior, so this was like my first and last stroll off. I was unable to compete last year. So to be able to see all the hard work executed, all the time that we put in, me and my organization, like it was unmatched. We were working hard day in, day out because we were going to perfect this show. Flipping over each other's backs and jumping up on top of each other is not an easy task. We had a lot of moments where we were falling on the ground. But to see it executed in front of everybody today beautifully and hearing the crowd screaming, it was amazing. It just made me feel so good. And to do it with my sorority sisters, I was like, yeah, this is a feeling that I'm gonna hold on to forever.